Okay. Making sure it says excellent connection here. And we're live. Hello, beautiful people. Captain Zach Sparrow here. I hope you're having a great day today. I wanted to talk about this. I want to say briefly because my food's going to be done in like 13 minutes or so. So we'll see how that goes for me. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this card right here. These cards, really, primarily. So the I'll probably put it in the title, thumbnail, description somewhere. It'll be abundantly clear to you guys, I'm sure. But the Vivid Voltage SWSH066 pre-release promos, right? And I'm talking about like the staff pre-release, as well as just the regular pre-release Holo as well. So I wanted to talk about these Charizard cards because we did talk about them before. This was months ago now when the market was completely different. So I did want to talk about that nowadays, now that the market has done market things, and I feel like that we're in a different place. So let's see if the opinion changes on this. So I wanted to talk about up front just the pre-release Holo. So this would be from Sword and Shield. As you can see, the pop count for it right now, woof. That's a lot of PSA 10 cards. And what's worse is they're not hard to grade. Well, what do you mean, Zach? Well, look at this. They're not hard. There's nothing of anything else. They're all PSA 10s. They're all PSA 10s. So it's not a hard card to grade. It's brand new. However, a couple of things it has going for it. Supposedly, the last pre-release cards that we're going to see, it's Charizard. It's from Vivid Voltage. So Vivid Voltage, sure that could be a subjective set depending on what your particular opinion was on the set. It was received well though. It's a good set. I'm not saying it's the best set of all time or any stretch of that imagination there, but I think it's a pretty solid set. I like the Amazing Rares, and it's going to be a unique set when you look back on it with the Chonkachu and just everything else. So I like Vivid Voltage. I know a lot of other people do, and you could see that reflected in the box prices as well during that time. There were other sets out during that time that were new sets that did not stonk as hard as Vivid Voltage. Vivid Voltage stonked harder for certain reasons. Again, whether you like that or not, it doesn't matter. That's what the market said. So Vivid Voltage is a pretty cool set in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying that this is the best investment to make or anything, but here I wanted to, again, just show you guys, this is what I look at. This is kind of what I like to, let's get that out. So maybe I can give you guys some, there we go. I just wanted to let you guys know what I like to look for, kind of how I come to certain decisions on certain cards, and not always. And this is a piece of the puzzle here. It's always an ongoing thing, and yeah, just take this however you guys will. I'm on PokemonPrice.com right here. Looked up the Vivid Voltage staff. No, not staff. Well, I did, but not on this page. This is just the pre-release Holo. This is not the staff version. So you're looking at, dang near 2,000 PSA 10 copies. This card is not rare. It is not hard to grade a 10. So, I mean, goodness, look at the price there. So $700 in case you can't see that on your screen. I'm not going to look at the outliers intentionally, at least $284. And then you're looking at here, like maybe floating around like the high hundreds or so for PSA 10s now. Let's see, that was a PSA 9 that scratched off for price there. Here's something that I wanted to point out to you guys was the CGCs are going for less sometimes. Hopefully I can find it. This right here, $100, 9.5. Guys, a 9.5 in this CGC. Now, I didn't click on it or anything or check out the actual condition of the card, but if this is like a solid 9.5, man, that's a steal in my opinion for what the cards are worth currently and what I think that they could be worth in the future, especially if you could throw this back out into the PSA land and get a 10 out of it. Now that can be a risky game, but I'm just saying for any of you guys who are interested in something like that, I just wanted to throw out potential avenues. And it's just different options. Again, just kind of like a different option today. So here is the staff Holo here. Now, I like the staff Holos. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't like the non-staff Vivid Voltage ones. I don't like them. They're okay. If you get them at a good price, knock yourself out. If you get some CGC cards, that's kind of what I've been looking at recently. But yeah, I hope that makes sense to you guys there. Let's see here. So again, same thing with this. These cards are not really hard to grade, but there aren't many of them. There's a low pop count for these. Even for the PSA 10s, there's a low pop count for this. And look at this. I really like this graph here as well. So if you can get this card in, let's see here. I want to say that I was looking at, let me pull this up here for you, gang. Yeah, we'll pull this up, and this will all just be Suavo. I don't think that's a word. Suave? Suave? Is that a shampoo? That's a shampoo, isn't it? Or like a... Alright, let's just move on. I'm being stupid again. Yeah, I mean, you can see with different companies how this is graded, and you're going to see a lot of 9s. I don't think I saw hardly any 10s graded. I mean, and you guys can do this yourself as well. I just want to quite literally show you what I do. Like what a lot of times what I will do, like when I'm like researching certain cards, how I'm looking this information up. And I'm not saying that this is the only way to go about it. This isn't the only way that I go about it. A lot of times I like to look at, in this particular case, I'm not going to find a ton of information on like Facebook Marketplace or other websites. It's going to be harder to find that. Here's a PSA 9. Woof, that's a bit higher of a price there than what I would have liked to pay for that particular condition. I would look at PSA 10s of this card whenever they show up. Obviously, they're not up very often. Where's this one at? Is it over here? Yeah, that's what I would be looking at, gang. Zach, do you think that they're going to go lower than this? Yeah, quite possibly. And could they be like low for years? Yeah, so it's interesting. If you look back at my previous promo pre-release video, these cards, a lot of times will be flat for years. They have historically. Will we see that in the future? Who knows? I think there are better investment options. I really do. I really think there are better options out there. But if you're looking to, if you were like, dude, I have to get this card, like I'm a Charizard guy, I just like pre-release cards, whatever the case, I understand it, I get it. This is kind of how I was looking at this. This is kind of how I came to this frame of mind around these cards. I think right now, like I would rather get a staff pre-release holo card than the non-staff versions, just because there's so many of them. I want them to be pretty rare. And then this graph right here, like draw a line from like even from here to here, like even from here to here, like I don't think that this is going to be a particularly good investment unless you get a good buy-in, like a CGC 9.5 win or something to that effect that you think, you know, I might be able to flip this for a 10. And I think that could be a huge win potentially. I wanted to throw that out there for potential options and kind of how I'm looking at things right now. Shoot, what else was I going to do? Oh yeah, I wanted to just kind of, and this is the right pop count, at least as of now. Like I looked at the PSA, like I went to the PSA website and looked at the pop count for these, see if it didn't change. We're still looking at 121 for Charizard First Edition Holos. I still think that these need to come down to planet Earth before I would think about investing in them. I know not everyone watching this channel is thinking about, oh, you know what, I was just thinking about buying a first edition, like, I understand. Like, everyone and their mother bought these cards in the last few months. Like, Steve Aoki, Logan Paul, King Pokémon seems to have his hands on a new one every other time I see him. So I'm not really sure how many liquid first edition Charizard holos are out there. I'm really not sure on that. Will this ever come back down to planet Earth? I don't know. I really don't know. A lot of times when you see in graphs, especially like this, with stalking, with investments, especially with an IP that's growing, such as that as Pokemon, I wouldn't expect to see this like back down in Candy Cane Lane over here. I wouldn't expect to see that again. Like maybe we could see something around this mark here, maybe the 1 to 2s, somewhere in there, 100 to 2s, hundreds to 200s range. Your guess is as good as mine, right? This is just like kind of like for fun, like me throwing out these potential numbers here. Like, who the heck knows, right? Like, I'm not pretending that I know what number that this would end up landing on, but I am just saying, like, as far as like potential stonkage, numbers wise, hey, there aren't a lot of these cards. Here's another card that is pretty stinking rare, though. This guy right here. This is the Evolutions pre-release staff holo. This particular card is hard to grade. Look at this. This card is hard to grade. It is rare. It is objectively very rare. But I also would like to see this one come back down to planet Earth again. Do you think percentage increase-wise that this would be a good investment for you? If you bought this card even at $10,000, do you think that that will be a very good investment for you? Will that be an amazing investment for you? For that card to go from, I don't know, if you buy it at $10,000 and it breaks a new all-time high at $20,000, like, that's great. You made $10,000 after tax and shipping, whatever the case. However you want to stink on the parade there. But something that I would want to consider would be, okay, great. This went from $10,000 to $10,000 to $20,000. Fantastic. I doubled my money. You could say it was a 2x. Oh my goodness, the cookies are done. Hold on. I will be right back, guys. Stop. Okay. Oh wait, no, shoot. I should probably open that. Okay. I actually don't think I'm going to be able to edit that out. Like, because I'm doing this like a live stream and then I'm not like actually recording this. I don't know if I can cut this out. I probably won't. What I would do is, $10,000 to $20,000. Like, that's all well and dandy, right? But, oh man, you're looking at 100% increase, which it sounds crazy, right? Like, that's great. Number one, that's not guaranteed. Number two, I wouldn't expect something like that to happen with this anytime soon. In particular, I wouldn't say, man, these are so undervalued right now. I just feel like these are going to be $20,000 in the next year. I don't see that happening with this card. However, it's really interesting because the pop count is so low with these cards. Later, when the franchise, in my opinion, will continue to grow especially at the rate that it has been growing, even if you omit 2020, like the uniqueness of that year and the extreme growth, even if you take that out and just like average in what you had seen the previous half decade or decade, it would be really interesting to see what these numbers get to with this particular card and these staff cards or pre-release holos in general. It'd be really interesting to see what these numbers will end up being like 10 years from now. I think that these could be potentially good buys if you're interested in it. And again, percentage increase wise, I'm not excited about it. I'm really not. Again, it's just so hard to see massive returns when your boat is a lot heavier with all these extra dollars to move around. And I'm not saying that this card wouldn't do it. We've seen that before, quite literally with this guy right here. We've seen massive increases. We've seen massive percentage increases on this. Same with this as well. So it's however you guys want to play the game. I just wanted to let you know how I am looking at it. I wouldn't be buying at this price point, but I do think that the cards could be technically undervalued. As crazy as that sounds, again, I would want to see this price drop, right? So take that how you guys will. I hope that this is I don't know, this brings like a different angle for you guys to consider, just to let you guys know like what I'm thinking, how I was kind of approaching this and looking at this. I was just thinking the other day, I was like, I haven't seen those pre-release holos in a bit. Let's find out where those are at on price. And I got to tell you right now, like, even though the price came down, like, I don't know if I would expect these to do anything amazing. There are 2,000 of them. There are 2,000 PSA 10s of these. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot of cards, man. I would be looking at the staff cards if I was adamant about getting it. and or the CGC cards, I think that those could be undervalued plays. Like again, if this is like a good condition 9.5, I would have been pretty excited about that actually. Just have in my collection. Again, I'm not saying it'd be the best investment of your life, but I think it would have been a fun investment, a good one. You'd have been able to crack maybe like your first case, or you haven't done it very often before. You get to crack it out, send it to PSA. And how much of a baller would you feel? Let's be honest. If you cracked it and it came back at PSA 10, and you're like, yeah, I'll be able to sell this for 125 now, or you know, whatever. You're like, well, you're kind of breaking even after that point. But you get my drift, you get my point. Whenever you see, hopefully, you see some appreciation with the cards there. Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know how I'm viewing all of this right now. Yeah, this one's an odd one. This one's very unique. I still think it's overpriced in a way, but at the same time, I think it's undervalued. Yeah, does that make sense? Like, I still think it's undervalued, but I still think like Pokemon, as far as like the game is concerned, if you look at the numbers of these cards, and if you look at like sports cards, for example, I still think we have a long way to go, guys. So, I mean, these could be rookie numbers. These could be greeny numbers. Not before long either. So, I don't know. Take that how you guys will. I'm not buying any of these cards right now. If I were, I would be looking at, again, where was it at? These guys right here. Probably these, just because, again, dollar-wise and growth-wise, what I think the potential could be. And as silly as it sounds, whenever you see something like this happen, you could see something like this happen again. Well, Zach, that's ridiculous. Are you implying there could be another boom? I'm not even saying that there could be another boom in particular. Like, I'm just saying, there's a... I don't know how deep to get in on this one for you guys. Yes, I'm still talking about cards. It's basically like... It's basically like inertia, okay? Man, I don't think I want to get into this video. But basically, what it is an object emission to say emission, haha. But like, I mean, man, it has to do with like company growth. I'm really like battling right now what all to explain in this video for now. Long story short, it sounds simple-minded, and it kind of is, but it gets incredibly complex the closer you look at it. Almost like anything else in life. But what I'm trying to say is, this has hit this point before. It can definitely hit this point again and smash it again. If you look back at other cards before, they've done it before. Other rare old cards. So, I mean, this has the rare part going for it. Doesn't have the old part going for it yet, right? Matter of time, eh? So, does that make any sense? I'm going to look back on this one. I feel like this was a weird one, but hopefully a good one. I feel pretty good about this. I think we touched on a different topic again today. I don't always get to look at specific cards with you guys and just let you know what I'm thinking. Again, just to reiterate here at the very end, I think the cards are okay right now. It'll be interesting to see how these cards go in the future. I think that these will continue to go down in price. That's just my gut reaction. But if you look at the numbers, man, objectively, this is a super duper duper rare card. I could see this going nuts later. But I don't like the price. I don't like the price. So yeah. Take that how you will, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed this format or not. Yeah, so that's where we're going to leave the video off for today. If you guys are new around here, make sure you subscribe and watch another one of my videos.